In this video, we're going to cover single leg exercises that should be incorporated to your strength training routine to help improve your overall performance of running or sports and get you to become a better athlete.
What I often find with people that are trying to do some strength or weight training or body weight training exercises to help with their running performance is they often are doing double-legged exercises like squats, deadlifts, leg press. What I really want to try to encourage and advocate for is more single-leg loaded activities like your lunges, your step downs, those sorts of things that challenge you to be strong on one leg, that when you're running, you are strong on one leg. One of my favorite exercises is the reverse lunge. What you're doing is you're starting legs shoulder width apart, hands on your hips if you want, or you can play with the running form, stepping backwards, keeping that ankle, knee, and hip in the same frontal plane, not allowing that knee valgus, which is bad for your knee. Trying to keep it nicely aligned and then coming back up. So your front leg is the working leg, not your back leg pushing you up. Think of your back leg as a kickstand. It's really only taking a portion of the weight, while this leg is pushing you up through the glutes and through the quads. I love this exercise because you get a bit of eccentric quads while you get a good glute squeeze and concentric contraction of the quads as well. You know your hip stability is doing well when you can notice that your knee is staying in that good frontal plane with your ankle and your hip. Poor hip stability, you'll see a shaky leg when you're stepping back or in, or just being stuck in that knee valgus, because then you're relying more on the joint. So making sure you have that good frontal plane. Remembering, keeping that body weight in the front leg, pushing up. I've recently fallen in love with doing the lateral step down. It's a progression from the step up, but a bit of an intermediate or regression from then a front step down. I find that doing it sideways or laterally on a step gives you the challenge of working on your hip stability, keeping that good knee alignment, while also making you a little bit more successful in the good form. So what you're going to do is you can use support initially with the goal of not needing support down the road. The object is to lower yourself with your stance leg to just tap your heel on the ground. While lowering yourself, you should be noticing that your hips are staying level, you're able to hinge backward into your glutes a bit, and your foot and ankle, your knee, and your hip are of course in that same frontal plane. This exercise is very similar to the reverse lunge. However, I find this focuses a little bit more on the eccentric component, as you truly aren't using this leg to push up at all, and it really is targeting that 1, 2, 3, 4 second countdown. Because you have the deficit in height as well, it does challenge your hips to stay level. Common mistakes, the knee the buckles in while you're coming down, or you start cheating at the hips, lowering down to get that heel to touch. So you want to be looking out for those two main things to check your form. Of course, you don't need to go all the way down initially. You can just work on little dips, always holding on to some support, because you want to train success in this exercise. Now, this next exercise isn't necessarily a single leg exercise, but you are spending most of your time on one leg. Now, if you come to the clinic and see me, you'll probably notice I give this exercise to a lot of people. It's called the penguin waddle, and what it really focuses you to do is use those glute medius to contract, build their endurance up to keep your hips stable. What you need is a little looped band. You can have any band tied in with a knot, or have a looped band around your ankles. You're going to stand shoulder width apart with your legs slightly internally rotated, making sure that you're upright, core engaged, and your legs really stiff. You want to be up and in a locked position, because what you're going to do is you're going to waddle side to side. Now my whole body is teetering or waddling onto the stance leg. What this does is I'm not actively pushing out to the band, but I'm also not letting the band pull me in. I'm just maintaining the distance of the band. So over time, as I'm standing on one leg, resisting that pull in, my glute med is keeping my hips stable, trying to keep that position. So the functional translation is when you're standing on one leg, it prevents your hips from dropping, getting that Trendelenburg, because you're training that glute med isometrically to contract well and build its endurance up. This is a time-based exercise that I love, that overall most people can benefit from. You're going to feel the burn, that's for sure. Now, if the reverse lunge or the lateral step down was too much of a challenge, the offset sit to stand is one of my favorite regressions to help build up confidence and strength on one leg. What you're going to do is you're just going to sit comfortably on a chair or a box, bringing the working leg closer to the box and then the non-working leg a little bit forward. So you're going to have a staggered stance, split stance, or an offset, having the non-working leg's heel in line with the toes of the working leg. So that way when you stand up, it forces you to use the closer leg to work harder. Of course, we're trying to make sure that we have our foot, ankle, knee, and hip in that same line on the working leg. To make this a little bit easier, you just bring the non-working leg closer. To make it harder, you bring it further away. Now, if you're starting to get to this point, you can start working on some single leg sit to stands, or try one of the two previous exercises. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm a huge advocate for the single leg exercises because they do translate the best into your function and your activities in your sports. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below of something that you'd be interested to see next. Tune in next time.